Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new episode of my MotoGP 19 mod career mode. Today we are here for round 3 for the USA Grand Prix here at the Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. If you guys did miss round 2 for the Argentinian Grand Prix, then do check out the race, guys, by clicking the card in the top right hand corner of your screen. But as you can see on the right hand side of the screen, we're currently third in the championship, 31 points to our name. And so far it's been a pretty good start to the season. 2 pole positions in the first 2 races, and in terms of the race, it's not been as good. We got 2nd in Qatar and I believe 5th in the last race, so we need to try and improve our race form. And I know USA here at Austin, Texas is actually one of those tracks where the AI aren't particularly great, and I think we can do pretty good here, especially in race trim. With that being said, we're going to jump straight into practice. We're going to try and set some decent benchmarks, get straight to Q2, and also make sure we do all the practice programs, and then we'll move on to qualifying eventually. But first of all, let's get into practice and let's see how things go. Okay, so currently in FP1, and we've completed all 3 of the tests pretty much, and things are looking pretty good. In terms of the test results, we score maximum points, and once again doing a good job there. And in terms of the current standings, as you'll see now, we're currently fastest in FP1, around about 9/10 faster than Maverick Vinales. But we're going to now skip it to FP2 and see if we need to improve a little bit more and try and secure that Q2 spot. But for now, it's looking pretty good. Alright, I think that should do it into the 159s. That should comfortably be a Q2 time, so we're going to call it a day there, and I think we're going to jump straight into qualifying, to be honest. Okay, then we are straight into Q2 as I expected, and now we're going to try and see if we can try and make it 3 poles out of 3 here at USA and try and dethrone the COTA King, Marc Marquez. So let's jump into it and let's get into this qualifying session and try and get that pole position. Okay, so I'm coming towards the end of my first run. Wasn't the best lap, very, very scruffy. I kind of backed off in the end, to be honest, and I'm going to try again, basically start from 0. Let's try and now set a decent lap here, and let's see if we can try and dethrone Marc Marquez. So far the lap time is very beatable, so let's try and do that. Okay, that was a pretty good lap. I think I could do a little bit better, but that was a pretty strong lap, to be honest, and it's a 59.7, my fastest lap of the weekend. So that could be pole right there, but I'm going to try for one more and see if I can find something else pace-wise. Or not, never mind. Right then, hit the deck. So I'm going to go back to the pits, reset, and we'll go again on one more fresh set of tyres on a freshly repaired bike. Okay, then this is going to be my last lap. Let's see if we do improve. It's going to be pretty close, I think. A 10th up after 3 sectors. We threw a little bit of time away, but still out the final corner. Do we improve on our previous? Yes, we do. We found quite a bit of time in that final sector, and we are down to a 59.3, and that is qualifying. Okay, so here are the final qualifying results, and I've had to go back to look at them in the warm-up. For some reason, it's glitched out and it didn't actually show the results after qualifying. So here you go, confirmation that we get pole position ahead of Marc Marquez by nearly 2 seconds, 1.8 clear of the master of COTA. Marquez as well, 6/10 clear of Joan Mir, and then Dovi P4, Valentino Rossi P5, Jack Miller in 6th, Crutchlow P7, Ian One 8th, and Jorge Lorenzo rounding out the top 9. And then as we go further down, we've got Zarco in 10th in the KTM, Rins in 11th, and Maverick Vinales running off the 12 runners in Q2. But with that being said, guys, we're now going to move into the race on Sunday and see if we can finally convert this pole position into a race win on our 3rd attempt. Let's jump into it.
Here we are live from the MotoGP class starting grid, where riders and engineers are talking over the last few details before the start of the race.
Indeed, it is race time here at the circuit of the Americas, and straight away we're going to sort out the tyres for the bike. So we're going to go into the tyre compounds. We're going to go for a hard rear and a medium front. I think that's going to be the best option here today, and let's try and win this race. You know, I want to really rack up that first W if possible, and really get my season going pretty much. So let's see how it goes. We start from pole position. Let's try and win this race. It's time for the USA Grand Prix. Here we go, clutch pulled, first gear engaged. We get ready for the 5 red lights here at Texas. Lights out and away we go for round 3 of the season. And we get a pretty actually decent start for a change. We matched the front 3. Miller gets an incredible start off the line with a whole shot in the Satellite Ducati into turn 1. Going to go around the outside here, try and carry the speed. Inside for turn 2. There's Dovi on the inside, there's Marquez. Rossi getting a good start as well. We're right in amongst it here as we go into the S's for the first time. Got to be careful to not have contact. It's very easy to have a scrappy S section and have some contact. Lorenzo's gone down in the other Honda there, and Alicia Spargaro down as well in the Aprilia. So quite a few crashes here through the S's. A bit of a messy one for some of those guys. As Miller though getting the best start on the Satellite Ducati machine. Fair play to him. Marquez and Dovi scrapping it out here for P4. As we go down the hill, we carry the speed quite nicely. What we like on the brakes, not great. And Marquez going very, very late in the HRC there. Into the hairpin. Going to try and pull her up. Squirt her on nice and early. Dovi getting a fantastic hairpin there. Gaining a handful of positions, including, I think, Mir and also Valentino Rossi. We're currently P6 here. Not too bad of a start. As we race down towards the hairpin for the first time, down at turn 12. Got to be careful here. We don't get hit from behind or run too deep on the brakes. We just avoid hitting the back of Marc Marquez there, but I'm kind of on the back foot here as we go to the next right. People looking behind for a move. Valentino Rossi and Dovi now battling it out for the race lead. Miller's been overtaken by the pair of them, and it's the Doctor versus the 04 for the lead of the race here. Marquez, the king of COTA, still can't get going just yet. He's only P5. So we've got all the favourites here in the top 6 already. And it's looking like a very interesting race. It's 6 laps ahead of us, or 5.5 now, as we come towards the end of lap 1. Let's try and make some progress here. I start to make some moves and try and see if we can catch up to Marquez and make these overtakes count, because I want to try and win this race. And compared to Argentina, where we was outside the top 10 after the first lap, we're looking a lot better this time round as Marquez picks up Joan Mir at the final corner. Right then, let's get our head down and start making some overtakes and getting some work done. Sector 1 is my sector. I'm so strong through the S's, so much stronger than the AI. As we run back on Marquez here as we go down the hill. Going to carry the speed beautifully. And then we're going to get the run on Marc Marquez here. I was thinking about the inside of the hairpin, but this is actually one of the AI's better brake points in the entire circuit. They're actually pretty good on the brakes, so as Marquez actually goes down the inside of Joan Mir instead. We are going to get a beautiful toe though off of Joan Mir and also Marc Marquez, but I think Mir's actually got the perfect toe as he's actually putting away a little bit from us here as we go down towards turn 12. To be careful on the brakes here, not overcook it. Into the brake zone, that was very close. We almost tucked the front. Marquez there, getting re-overtaken by Mir, and we're looking to get involved in this battle if possible. Marquez over the curb, a little bit scrappy there. Mir runs wide, and we get a 2-for-1 overtake. Can we hold it with Marquez here? He goes down the inside of me at the tricky double apex left, but we are going to hold on and pick up the inside line for the next corner. Marquez hits me again, and we almost go down. Very scrappy. Marquez being aggressive here. Mir as well, not done just yet. I'm going to get the power down though, and power past and get in front of those guys finally. And now we've got Jack Miller in front of us here on the Pramac. Also, Dobby's taking the lead ahead of the Doctor now. He's got past at the final corner then on the power. Not the best exit, but we are within range here, and we are close to Jack Miller. Dobby setting the pace faster than his qualifying time actually, so Dobby really finding the pace as we go to turn 1. I'm a little bit hot on the brakes. Can I get it slowed down? Yes, I do. And actually, I've gone completely around the outside of Jack Miller there. Incredible overtake. I thought I absolutely overcooked it into turn 1, but we managed to get it slowed down. We got the power on the exit, and we completely destroyed Miller there through turn 1. What an overtake that was. And now we've got these two here, the GOAT, Valentino Rossi, and Andrea Dovizioso battling for the race lead here, and we get right in amongst it. Sector 1, like I said, my strongest sector. This S section is where it's all about and where I'm at, and we're really getting amongst the race here today. Patience though, we've still got a long way to go in this race. Lots of opportunities to make some moves happen, so no need to rush into anything. As we get the run on Valentino Rossi there, and we get past into the hairpin. The Doctor right back down the inside. I'm going to open up the line and try and focus on my exit instead. Doesn't really go according to plan as we pick up a bit of a wheelie there. So we're going to set up a P3 for now, and we'll start making these overtakes happen on Valentino and Dovi. The two Italians are absolutely going for it here. They've been side by side for the good, pretty much the entire second half of the lap here. Valentino Rossi getting the upper hand, but Dovi's still not done yet. Down the inside of the older Italian, and these two still go side by side here as we go on to lap 4, and we set the fast lap of the Grand Prix in 2 minute 1.1 as we go up into turn 1. Let's see what happens here between these two. Can we try and pick up the pieces here to the first corner? They're still side by side somehow. They're just not ending, but they're keeping a good pace, so I'm not exactly gaining much on them. But now we're approaching the S's, and this is what it's all about for me. This is my strongest point of the racetrack, so let's try and repair some overtakes here. Got to be careful though to learn the AI's lines and to not be too risky and have a contact with them. Valentino there, good defensive riding. I tap him a little bit there. We've run a bit wide. We are going to get the position though down the inside of the Doctor. I think Rossi went down actually. I think he might have gone down. We didn't get the message on screen, but it seems like a little bit of contact might have just sent Rossi down to the ground. And it is me versus Dovi then. Rossi has definitely gone down. I lost a bit of time, so it's me versus Dovi for the race win here it seems, and for the lead of the race. So can we finally convert the pole into a race win? Let's find out. This is my best chance to do it. So let's try and get after the 0-4 and try and make a move on Dovi here. Currently lap 5 or 6. And we're being patient. I'm not rushing into things. I'm doing a bit of a Mark Marquez, to be honest. I'm just kind of studying Dovi's lines and taking my time. I don't want to overcommit. Preferably I don't want to have a bit of contact like I did with Valentino and ruin the battle for the race win if possible. So I want to try and get this move done cleanly, and kind of expect the AI to have a bit of a dodgy line. So we're putting the pressure on Dovi here, but he's parking his bike quite nicely at the minute. I'm trying to find a switchback or something, but no way through just yet. Maybe here though, down the hill. I've been pretty good here all weekend, although that's pretty good from Dovi to be fair. If I can just get late on the brakes into the hairpin and try and straighten up the bike nice and early. Come on, give me that. I'll take that. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Drag race time. I can't really get into the toe of Dovi here just yet, but we get a bit of a side draft. And there we go. We power past the Ducati, but now Dovi's coming back at me here. Into the brake zone. Need to try and get it slowed down. Beautiful. That's what I'm talking about for the apex. Getting the bike nicely stopped. Now we need to try and stay in front here. A bit wide. Need to try and be careful onto the curb. Dovi back underneath. Side by side into the double left. That's a bit wide. Dovi's going to go underneath. Very interesting line there, but we are going to hold on just about. I think we should have this now. Dovi's going to try it one more time. He's still going for it, and he's got it just about. We're side by side. I'm on the outside though, which is not where you want to be. We hit the back of him now. I just got too good of an exit. But we're definitely having a fierce battle for the race win here as we come up towards the final corner, going on to the final lap of the Grand Prix to start the end of this race. A little bit deep on the brakes there. Can we get the power down? Yes, we do. Here we go then. Last lap of the race. We're in the toe of Dovi. We're going to pull to the right hand side, try and power past. Taking a very shallow line into turn 1. I don't really like being this shallow, to be honest, and we're a little bit hot on the brakes. Dovi gets back underneath, but now through turn 2. Can I carry the speed here? Come on, power down. Inside for the S's. There we go, that's what I'm talking about. A little bit of a shallow line through there. Just try and stay in front. Don't let Dovi come back underneath if possible. Try and hold on to this first place. There it is, that's what I'm talking about. We should be good now. I've still got plenty of tyres left. I've been very good at my tyres this race. Let's try and have a good chicane here, right and left, over the hill, and now down the hill. Carry the speed, there we go. And that's what I'm talking about. Nice gap to Dovi now. We can cruise to the finish. I've managed to get the safety gap. Even if Dovi gets the most godliest exit here, he's not going to have the straight line speed to catch me. Good job. Here we go then, into the final few corners. We've kept it all nicely under control. Dovi tried, but we had too much pace here today. And now into the final corner for the final time. Finally, we're going to convert on our third attempt, a pole position into a race win as we win the USA Grand Prix at the Circuit of the Americas and pick up the big fat 25 points. Finally, I've been waiting for that so long, but we finally did it, and that's going to do us a world of good in the championship standings. But first of all, let's look at the race results. So we must have definitely had contact with Valentino. He finished 8.4 seconds off the lead, and we actually finished 1.5 clear of Dovi at the end. We actually did a fastest lap right on the last lap, a 2-minute flat 0.8. Very strong lap there in race trim. And to be fair, Dovi was much quicker in race trim than he was in quali. His best lap was faster than his qualifying time, so fair play. Maverick Vinales, P3, rounds off the podium, and then Joan Mir, Marc Marquez, Jack Miller, Valentino Rossi, Johan Zarco, P8, good job from him, Alex Rins, Cal Crutchlow, Jorge Lorenzo, Andrea Iannone, Danilo Petrucci, Francesca Bagnaia, and Cyrene round off the point scorers. Cyrene there scoring an extra point for our team, and then Quattararo, Oliveira, Espargaro, Nakagami, Abram, Rabat and Morbidelli all miss out, along with Alicia Spargaro on the point. So there you go, guys. That's it for the race results. And now let's look at the Riders' Championship. And as you can see, we are currently second, 5 points behind Andrea Dovizioso and Marc Marquez P3. And then we've got both the Yamahas in 4th and 5th breathing down our necks. And that's going to be quite interesting, in terms of the team championship. In terms of the constructors, we are still second, 5 points behind Andrea Dovizioso. And it kind of translates from the drivers, or should I say the Riders' Championship, really. So pretty good stuff there. And finally, the team championship, as you can see, Yamaha still holding second because they've got the best points overall between their two drivers, but we're holding down a P4, and I'm doing my best considering, I've got two teammates, unlike most people, but they're not very competitive. So we're trying our best, but all things considered, not a bad race here today, guys. And hopefully you did enjoy the video. If you did, then drop a like. And I'm not going to be doing any R&D just yet because the bike is quite competitive as it is, considering it's meant to be a Tech 3 KTM. So we're not going to do any upgrades, and we're going to just keep on pushing through the bike as it is. If you guys did enjoy the video, like I said, drop a like, and also subscribe if you are new for daily Formula 1 and MotoGP content. Turn on notifications to not miss a single video from me, and finally check out these two videos on your screen if you have missed them. But other than that, guys, thank you for watching, and see you in my next episode very soon. But until then, it's goodbye from me.